Hi, it's Ryan from Knights Around the Table, and what I've got here is a game called Ascendancy, and this is a production copy, so if you ordered this thing on GameFound, there was a campaign a while back, this is the thing that you're going to be receiving. Now I got to tell you, One More Turn Games has commissioned me to make a how-to-play video for this game, and I was going to crack it open like I always do, set up all the pieces, figure out the rules, learn how to play, write the script, yada yada, but I thought, why waste an opportunity at a good unboxing? Not that this is going to be a good unboxing, but usually I do these things on Twitch in front of live audiences of up to 3 people, but today I'm doing something weird. I'm just secretly taping it, pre-recording it so that I can release it when I want to, but partly because I think that if you ordered this thing, we're just far enough away from people actually receiving it that I don't want anybody to get mad that I have it too early, if that makes sense. But if you've got it, or if you got it coming and you see this video go up, but by all means, let's you want to spoil the surprise for yourself. Let's check it out and see what's inside the box. Now, because they have commissioned me to make a how to play video, of course, everything I find in this box is going to be absolutely amazing and the bee's knees and the best thing I've ever seen. So I will do my level best not to disparage any of the components. Not that there's anything to disparage what's in this box. It all looks pretty cool. And normally when I go into these unboxings, I like to go in completely cold so that I'll be surprised, and so my reactions will be completely genuine. Sometimes what that translates into is a bit of frustration though, because people watch that like, doesn't he know what was in the box before he asked for it or ordered it? In this case, it's a little bit different, only because I've been reading the rule book for the past couple days in PDF form, so I sort of have a sense of what's in here. What I don't know, though, is that there are a few versions. One of them is, so you can buy in at different tiers, and one of them is a lower cost version with standees in it, and then there's like a big fancy version with minis. I do honestly hope that this is the version with minis, and I suspect that the publisher would have sent me the biggest and best that they've got so that the game looks as amazing as it possibly can on the video. Well, let's be surprised together and dive in and see what's going on. They call it the ultimate 4X inspired worker placement board game. I don't know, that seems like a bit of a hedge, isn't it? Because people get picky about the term 4X. I've got a video I can put up, or link you to, that explains what 4X actually means, and every single board game I've seen that people say, oh, it's 4X, they're like, no, actually, the 4th X isn't really well represented. It's like, be quiet, nerd. Just relax and let people enjoy things. This is going to be tough to get out, but I'm already sneaking this little thing out of here. Oh, look, I think, friends, this is the fancy version. So this is a neoprene mat that we'll get into and we'll check out in a second. Meanwhile, I'm going to struggle with this. I mean, if this isn't the all-in super deluxo crazy box, I'd hate to see that thing. Boy, yeah. I was a little nervous when I saw, it's going to take some muscle that I do not have. I was a little nervous when I saw that it was Long Pack Games as their distribution partner, at least in North America, only because I just had them deliver another game to me from Board and Dice. That was the Teotihuacan Deluxe Master Set, and corners of the box got a little bit munched, and when I looked at the Kickstarter campaign, I saw that a bunch of other customers had there were lacerations, and so of course you only hear the bad stories, right? So you only see the boxes that got wrecked. So I don't know if that's a long pack thing or if that's just generally if you're going to do a big fulfillment, some boxes are going to get munched. But look, this has protective baffles on I don't know what these are called in the industry, but it's got protective corners on it that keep it from getting munched. So that's good. But still we got a bit of box munch in the corner. But that's not the fault of the game. That's Long Pack. Here we go. Ascendancy. Let's go. I didn't read the rest of what was on the back of the box, but I'll talk you through it as I dig in. One of the reasons I wanted to unbox it sort of early in my how to play video making process, I'm just reading the rules and kind of drafting a script, is because there's something in here that's very funny. I'm getting lost. Like, I need to, when I write these scripts, I don't always have to play the game, but I definitely need to lay everything out and see how everything maps onto everything else. And there's like a lot of stuff in this box, including this 1 centimeter, I don't know, sorry, I'm making a joke, it didn't go well. Look, there's like a paper crown that may remind you of a certain fast food restaurant. I know what that is. There's a certain moment at the at the end of each at the end of each decade, a decade is like a round of the game where you crown one player, and that's the person who's leading in points. And then they get to do special things for the rest of the decade. I don't know who's going to choose to wear that for the entire decade, but it's cute that it's in there anyway. What else do we have? We have, how to pack miniatures. Well, that bodes very well for a guy who hopes there are miniatures in here. I like that, but I do wonder, and I've had other games like Monumental in the past, where it's like this, it's a bunch of recesses, and you have to sort of guess which mini goes where depending on the recess. And I wonder why, I mean, it's more money, it's more development, but I wonder why miniatures games don't do more with their vacuform thing, where they kind of like stamp the little shape underneath to show you what goes in there, or at least put like a little sticker in there. I don't know, but this is nice to have anyway. In lieu of that, you got a map of what goes where. The Ancestral Ledger. This looks like scenario achievements. This looks like so you can keep track of which scenarios you've played. This is a game that has a big old rule book, as we'll shortly see. Then it has a scenario booklet. So just like games like Voidfall is one in recent memory, learning the rules and setting up the game is one thing, but then every specific scenario has a different setup for it and sort of different rules to play by. So I think that this chart is kind of how you keep track of what you've played and what you've won and where you are in the whole thing. And then there's a bunch of unlockables that every single time you complete a scenario, you can get loot and it carries over into your next game. So I guess that's just like a ledger to keep track of where you are in the grand scheme of things. Tiles that we'll get into because I'm going to have to punch every single bloody one of them. I was surprised to see that and this is cool too, I was surprised to see that the rulebook confessed that the first time you go to play this game, setup's going to take you an hour. Like, they straight up say it. I don't know if I'll do all of it right now, but I'm hoping it's like an hour and then you're done forever, because I think what happens is you set everything up and you put it in trays, and I hope the trays are nice, and then when you finish the game you put it all back in the box, but you don't have to like peel everything out into bags. I think it all stays in trays. This thing is a cool skull-shaped scary dice tower that we can put together, and here we go. Here are the aforementioned trays. So what's the deal? What kind of game is it for the uninitiated, for those who didn't back or who want to know more? Everybody gets to play a different house, and you sort of play like the youngster in a kingdom who's coming up and going to be inheriting the throne, and there's 4 different houses you can play, and each of them are themed. So these are sort of like the barbarian kind of Viking kind of guys, and stuff goes in this tray, the lid fits on. Same with this. This is House Raspute, so Rasputin inspired, sort of like a dark wizard kind of house. So some magic-y themed stuff going on. House Roberts, which I can only assume is patterned after the dread pirate Roberts from The Princess Bride. So that's sort of like a yo-ho, lusty, naval, piratey, tricorn wearing kind of vibe going on. And then House Valus is the elfy sort of tree hugger kind of house going on. So we'll see more about this when I start patriating pieces into these 4 trays. But my impressions of the trays so far is cool. The lids feel like they fit nicely. These cardboard things fit well. These are all like vacuum-formed plastic, but they seem to have like sort of better fidelity or detail, I think, than a lot of vacuum-formed trays I see. I mentioned the Teotihuacan box, and those were just vacuum formed and abysmal. That's about as bad as it can get, that production. Great. There is secret information in this game, and so these are envelopes. Essentially, there are a bunch of scenarios where you play with bad guy boss characters it's a worker placement game. They take up spots that you'd rather be taking, and then whenever they get resources, they just throw them in the garbage, and resources are scarce. Like, oh, you jerk. And then they roam the map and try to take your settlements down. They're very bad. But but sometimes the Trump cadence kind of gets me. They're very bad. They're very bad people. Nobody likes them. Anyway, they're adversaries, right? And there's different themes. And as you play through the scenarios, you open these secret envelopes up and find out more about them and what their nefarious plans are. So I think we're not allowed to look at those. I'm going to put those aside. You discover those things as you play. Look at how they've just barely squozing all these card packs in the side here. Oh my gosh, and there's more here. I'm going to stack them all up. I think I generally know what they all do, and I'm going to put them aside. I don't know if this is more fun when Ryan knows what's going on or when Ryan doesn't, but Ryan generally knows what's going on this time. You can't fool me, game. All right, this is a tracker. So this is the game clock right here, and you'll see why in a second, why they're shaped like little bubbles. It's loyalty, so that's your score, but not every game ends with points. And here's upkeep, so this is like the more stuff you build, the more it grinds against the money you stand to earn against the, at the end of a decade. And this is a skill tracker. You got 3 different skills: might, cunning, and intellect, and you track those here. And then at the end of each decade, you get different prizes depending on where you are on those skill tracks. And the skills let you do skill checks. It's a whole thing. Great. It's very RPG game inspired, and the combat is very Japanese RPG inspired, as you'll see as I'll talk you through a bit of it. This isn't meant to be my how to play video, by the way. Right. So I was going to say, important. If we'll open it together, we'll repatriate some pieces where I think they go. But if you want to learn how to play, I'll say this again in the how to play video. Right now, the how to play video should be up. And if it's not up, it's because it's taking me a very long time, because it's a meaty game. So if it's not up, what I want you to do is, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell so that you'll get alerts and you'll get an email or a ping or something on YouTube when the how to play video is up and you can watch it. However, first time out, you don't actually need to watch a how to play video, and you don't need to read a big rule book. I'm going to tease that, and we'll find out why when we get into the actual paper components of this game. Great. This is one of 4 different other boards, and it goes in. The game goes in 4 phases, and there are 4 of these boards, and this is one of them. And which one is this? This is the first board, first tray. They're called districts. So let's look at a couple of pieces here. These are the wood pieces. So you get like. They tentatively use the word meeple in the rule book, even though nobody wants Hans im Glück to sue them. But these are the horsies. So, you know I love dumb board games where meeples get to ride mounts. So yeah, they're of different... I'm not calling Ascendancy dumb. There are different horsies that your guy can ride. So everybody gets a horsey, and let's dig into these guys, and I'll show you what that looks like. These are the Royal Advisor pieces. You can have 2 of each kind of meeple, cough. I guess they call them workers, is the generic term in this game. And they can have a horse, and you can put your guy on a horse, and now he's doing guy on horse things. Whoa. So there's a bunch of actions around a certain board, and if you put your horse down, you get to do one thing. If you put your guy down, you get to do another thing. But if you put your horse and your guy, they get to do the same. They get to do a double thing. They get to do a move and an adventure at the same time. It's kind of like a more powerful thing. And the guys are different tiers, and different guys go on different trays. Oh, look! Speaking of trays, look at that. That's why this feels so nice. It's because Game Trays designed and built them. Yeah, Game Trays, man, they're on point. They are a cut above. The stuff that they build works well, fits the stuff mostly perfectly, and feels really good. So whenever you see that logo, like, I'm 100% on side whenever I see that Game Trays is involved in a production. Big fan of Game Trays. Great, back to this, because I mean, productions that don't use Game Trays, but try to do a Game Trays-like thing, except no substitutes is all I'm saying. It's noticeable. A couple more of these, I'm just going to dig them out, and we'll talk about them. Oh, I see minis. Okay. So these are some of the other district trays. This one is tray number, I hope they're numbered, because that was one, oh yeah, 1, the Academy, oh sorry, tier 1, the Academy phase. Hey, does that flip over? Is there like everything in the, no, good. Almost everything in the game is upgradable. So like any card, you can like flip it over. It's gonna be level 2. Even your meeples, you can upgrade your meeples. So here's an example of some of the meeples, and they got screen printing on them. This is very much like, what they did with viticulture, where they were dressing up the meeples so they look like, I forget, butlers and gangsters and things. Anyway, so they'll screen print. So these are laborers, the ones with the little shovels, and they're level 2, I think. It would have been maybe a good idea to put the level on there, but maybe there's something else around the boards that really clearly tells you who's at what level. The 4 different player colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different player colors. It's up to 4 players this game, but then the 5th player can be one of those bad guys, one of those nemesis characters, the robots, the non-player characters. I'm going to dump all those out because I know where those go. These are some standees. I know where they go too. Those are for minis, and I'll show you in a second. Blah. Hey, I really know what's happening here. This is completely unlike me. Big standees. I'll show you what those are in a second. Great. So we've We've got there's another one of those trays where you get to place stuff and do things, and I know what goes in there. I think, yes, I do. Good. Loot goes here, and status markers go here. When you're fighting, it's very JRPG inspired. So you can poison creatures, and you can get like the opposite of poison, which is like a regen thing. You can freeze things. You can root things to the spot so that they have trouble taking their turns. All that jazz. So if you've ever played Final Fantasy, anything, and even, you know, I'm writing the rules for or writing the script for the how to play video, and like there's a lot of rules with combat, but if you've ever played a JRPG, you're like, oh yeah, of course, it feels like second nature. And I wish in the how to play video, because I'm kind of running out of, I'm trying to keep it to 30 minutes. I usually try to keep things to 30 minutes, but I've just had some monster games come across my desk in the past couple of years. You know, I did Feudum, and I did An Age Contrived, and I did Luthier, and there's just big games. So it's always like, yeah, we'll try to keep it to 30 minutes, and then I get the rule book. I'm like, oh my god, like the rule book for this one, is it in here? It's got to be in here. Maybe not. Is it online only, the rule book? No, that would be surprising. Hold on. More stuff. We're going to go through that in a second, but I'm just fishing for the rule book because is it digital only? Did they decide not to print a rule book? These are sleeves for different things. Minis. Wow, I'm not seeing a rule book. Friends, this is, oh wait. No, okay, let's see. Cut the camera away so you don't see the messiness. This is probably, oh yeah, there it is. It's a big book. Surprisingly, this is like the first game I've opened probably in my life where the rule book isn't like the very first thing popping off the top of this esophagus. Where did you get that preposterous hypothesis? Did Steve tell you that? Steve. Right. Here are some minis. So the way that it works is one of the things you've got going on the map is you make little bases. Whoa! Little bases. The games call them settlements. I'll use the red ones because they might read a bit better. So that's the base of your base. And then you have little... Let me see. They're going to be in another box. I can't find them. There they are. Then you have little walls. So that's tier 2. Little crown of thorns. Little walls so you can like beef up the defenses of your base. And then you've got little towers that can go on top of the little thing. So that's like level 3, triple threat. Don't mess with me. You're going to have a hard time taking down my base kind of settlement. That's what it looks like. And then, so, okay, what do you have like other towers and stuff in this minis bin? Well, I'll tell you. I'm going to say there are 4 different houses and then some sort of nemesis character, right? So the minis product comes with big, chunky, unique bases that you can use as like your home base, like your capital. I think this is probably a wall that goes in them. We're probably going to use the big thing. I'm just looking for level 1 though. Where's level 1 of these? They might not be, I don't know where they are. Or do you use these level 1s? Is that how we're, I don't know. No, this is big, so there's no way that's going to fit in there. I'll figure it out anon. Eventually, I'll figure it out. Because the small bases, you also have like an avatar. Like I said, you roam around. Oh, here we go. Yeah, how did I miss that? Great. So here's the base of your capital, right? So one of them, all of them are going to be like little guys, and then one of them, she's a no fit. All right, maybe I'm wrong about that. Hold on, does this fit? No. Okay, right. So, I feel like I'm doing one of those like primary school puzzles where it's like, can you make the cow go in the cow shape? Wouldn't be the first time. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that you have big fancy ones for your capital, which is the most important thing. And just like in chess, if you lose your main thing, you may not like it. There's dice in this game. If you're sensitive to that, get out of here. There's player elimination. So if you're sensitive to that, get out of here too. But I get the sense that, or I hope that, player elimination is not a common thing in this game because you kind of have to play really badly to let your big fancy capital get got. That's my hope anyway. But I haven't played yet, so I don't know. And then everybody has a mini instead of standee to represent sort of their house on the map. So the barbarian Viking kind of looking guys have this guy who's a good thing, and then the House Roberts has this big anchor guy with the big sword. If you like painting minis, these look like they'd be fun to paint. So yeah, there they all are. And then all these other guys, are these possibly these are the bad guys, the Nemesis figures. Oh, maybe that's where the big base goes. Yeah, that's it. So the big Nemesis figures get these bottoms on them. I don't know what this little guy is. Some sort of little airship. It's very tiny. It's mysterious. Probably involved in one of the scenarios. Very intriguing. Yeah, I wish I could have figured out how these guys go together. I'm sure it's not hard, and I'm sure I'm just being obtuse. But let's just try to put, I don't know, something like, yeah, okay. There's the wall on the thing, and then I don't know if it just sits there or if it clicks in somehow, but there's probably there's got to be a better way. Anyway, that's how that all goes together, your big sucker. So those are the minis. Very nice, very cool, very paintable, very exciting. And I'm going to put them away now because there's other things to investigate. We got to get 1,000,000 cards into these boxes, friends. We don't have time to be messing with minis. Get out of here, minis. Off to the side of the shot with you. Yes, right. Back into the box. Finally, on the very bottom is this tray. Oh, lift from the knees. This, yes. I will finish my thought, I promise. Foreteller, gain early access to the Ancestral Archives. QR code. What is that? I don't even know. Here, quick, scan that. Oh no, maybe I'm not supposed to show you that. I don't know. Am I? Maybe I wasn't. I don't know. Maybe that's like a proof of purchase thing. I'll see if I can blur that out in post. Cool. Some player guides. Fine. But this is the. So this is your rule book. This is your 112 page rule book that I'm currently fighting for my life to condense into a 30-minute video. I don't think I'll be able to do it. It's probably going to be a 40 or 45-minute video, but there's lots of stuff, friends, going on in this game. If you're intimidated, you should be. But don't worry, because this is really cool. One of the promises they made in the campaign, and I think they have fulfilled, and we've seen other games do this recently, and it's just a solid idea, is they have a scenario booklet, fine, and the very first scenario, it says in the rule book, hey, don't read this rule book. Go to the scenario booklet, go to the tutorial scenario, and this dude named Belfry is going to take you through, in character, every single step that you need to go through all the 4 phases. He's going to take you through 3 decades, so 3 big rounds of the game. It's going to take you a couple of hours. He's going to walk you through every single little bit, sort of tell you what to do, and walk you through the mechanics. Every significant mechanic in the game, you're going to be fighting something, you're going to be roaming around the map and setting up a settlement and everything. And then once you're done with that scenario, you'll get kind of a bit of a lay of the land, and then you can go read the reference guide with all the rules in it. Although at that point, what I recommend is go watch my video. My video hopefully will be helpful in telling you how to set everything up for your first game, but then there's further setup in the scenario booklets, because every scenario tells you, a different amount of resources go out on trays and a different number of cards go out. So every scenario is kind of like unique and different and interesting. So that's what's up. This is the board if you don't have the fancy neoprene mats, and it's just a bunch of hexes. There's 2 sides of the board. It's kind of a small board actually, because you got so many other trays and everything running around. So like running around, they don't run around. Filling up your table is what I'm trying to say. So this is your main board, and nicer looking terrain tiles go down on this. There's 2 sides of this representing 2 different sort of areas of the kingdom or land, and the spots between them are mountains that you can't travel between unless you find a mountain pass, and then you're able to go through a mountain pass. So basically you're using your horse as a worker placement entity to make your avatar travel around the map. Cool. And then the bad guy has sort of like a robot thing, depending on which die he or she rolls. That's what tile they're targeting. Cool beans. There are a number of cubes representing resources. That's like food and sort of like a skill modifier. If your skills aren't high enough, you need to pass a skill check. And a couple of baggies more meeples. So these ones are... Did I call this one the Royal Advisor? I'm so sorry. This one with the little sword is a lord/lady, so that's one type of noble. And then this is your most powerful piece, the one with the little wand. This is your Royal Advisor. Pieces can get ousted from worker placement spots. If you put a more powerful piece down, you can boot somebody out of the spot, which is kind of cool. These guys, A, can never be ousted, and B, give you a double action. So that's your most powerful piece there. And they are allowed, hold on. I'm just going to use the wrong color, but there's one. They are allowed to ride horses. I think that's the noise a horse makes. Sounds like a sick elephant. Great. Then you got these guys. These are the beret-wearing snob pieces, and their home is the Academy board, where you go and you talk to like your best knights and thinkers and engineers and scientists and stuff. That's where they end up. And these are damage trackers, so when you're fighting JRPG style, you can put damage trackers on a card and track how much health somebody has left. I was about to just dump those somewhere, but I don't know if I should. Maybe those go back in there. Should they go back in with the bag? I don't know. I'm just a caveman. Great. So, but I don't know, because these are player trays, so like player pieces should show up here. So let's start, as I say, repatriating things and making a bit of a mess. Here are some stackers. So on the, I told you I'd mention why these are bubble shaped, and it's because they go like this and they go like this. And if you go like blop, blop, and you move onto that spot, you're on top of that person. So there are no ties on these boards. The stackers go on top of each other, so you always know who is where on the thing, who's in first place. No ties. And even the game has theoretically no ties. If you want it to end in a tie, you can, but if you don't, you go into like a sudden death combat mode, and there's so much going on. I'm just going through. This is partly for my benefit, so I can remember what I'm saying in the video. But there's PvP, player versus player combat, but there doesn't have to be. So if you can kind of opt into that. But there's definitely combat against those Nemesis characters. They definitely want to kick your butt. So again, I don't know where. Ooh, metal coins. Like, ooh, metal coins, and they have. They're painted, so the ones are actually. Look at that. It's kind of shiny, but you can see that. The ones are painted. The threes are painted. That's surprising. I don't know, honestly, when I've ever seen that, and it looks good. That's really cool. These are some dice for fighting. Some more dice for fighting. So this is kind of like the non-player dice for fighting. These are the player dice for fighting, and then sometimes the nemesis will use these dice for fighting. Right. I'm making a mess. These are some sleeves for square cards. We'll look at the cards in just a bit. They did come with the standees. You know what? If you didn't spend the extra bucks and buy the minis pack, I mean, you're still fine, because I love acrylic standees. I think they're gorgeous. I think they look really cool. You got character art on there. I mean, your unpainted minis, just, I don't know, sometimes it's just like, oh man, now I gotta go paint a million minis and they'll look crummy until I do. But standees look instantly good right out of the box. Look how nice she looks. Well, she's evil, so she doesn't look that nice. But no, I think they're great. I think acrylic standees are great, and they're a really nice, lower cost alternative to minis. You know what? I say lower cost. I don't even know, because I found out that, like, wood is cheaper than plastic, but plastic was presented as a premium upgrade for things. Is that how it works? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. There's a if you don't want to use the BK paper crown, you can use this one to crown your player and figure out who's calling shots for the next round. And then these are trackers for when you're fighting. I could probably get into that when I show champions cards. Yeah, great. Okay, these are definitely player trays. Is there anything, before I go on, is there anything that shows me how to put all this back? Okay, no, watch. So this is going to be quite a magic trick, figuring out or remembering where everything goes. I think I can do it. Okay, here we go. Right, well, anything green goes into the green bin. So we'll do that. I should have come equipped with a fun story to tell you while I'm doing sort of the quasi-boring stuff. Well, I ain't got none. I'm noticing that there is no yellow tray. These are more standees, which is interesting because there are yellow pieces. Did I miss it? Is there a yellow tray? I don't even know. Let's just go with what we know here. Yellow pieces are going to stay in there for the moment. As far as these go, how many are there? They're not enough for all the players. So those go in a certain location that shall remain nameless and discovered later. Great. And then this. So you're going to want to put your bases over here. And bases. And bases. If it looks like I'm doing this backwards, like reversing some of them, don't worry, I can flip that around. So if your OCD is being triggered, fear not. I'm going to put, looks like there may not even be enough towers for all the, you get 6 bases, but I think it's like so hard to build up to the tower level that they didn't need to do 6 times 4 or 6 times 5 towers. Totally understandable. A couple of rings. It's like, watch Ryan do a very simple color sorting puzzle. Yellow, I don't know. Yellow, get out of here. Yellow. All right, good. Yes, and then slightly off camera because I don't want to mess with the shot too much. I'm just going to sort the wood pieces that we saw. This isn't the hard part, by the way. This is kind of like it's kind of like an easy part. The harder part is figuring out where all the cards and tokens and chits go. But I think I have that pretty well sorted out. So I was about to triumphantly dump all the yellow guys' pieces into the yellow bin, but I don't know where the yellow bin is. Is there a yellow bin? I don't know. Guys. Let's see how good of a job Game Trays did by figuring out if there's enough space for all the pieces that all the players would want to have. I suspect they did all right. I hope they did all right. I just worriedly looked at my screen and I thought, oh man, what if I forgot to hit record? It's usually, you know, if the audience isn't responding, I know something's gone wrong. I have no idea if something's gone wrong here. But then I thought, I have to do this anyway. So you're just basically watching me get my hard-earned pay for making these how to play videos by putting all this stuff together. All right, you, get in. Great. Horsies. I said I know what everything is. The silver horsies, they're a little mystifying. Oh, level, okay, they're the better, oh, I see what's going on. Okay, there's crummy horses in your player color, and then there's silver horses, and then there's level, like tier 3 gold horses. And they all have colors. So there's the tier 2, the yellow one we'll just put aside, and the blue tier 2 horsey, and the green tier 3, okay, tier 3 is going to be, that's red, I get it, green, purple, and yellow goes over here. Did the tier 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah, okay, that's everybody. I hope, yep, okay, great. That's what I'm missing, the tier 3 blue one. Fantastic. And then a couple more of these. There's a pink one. I don't know what the heck the pink one's for. Like I say, the scenarios play kind of like fast and loose with rules. So it might be like, oh, for this scenario, you have to introduce the special pink stacker, and it's, I don't know what it does. It punches you in the face every single time it moves up and down. I don't know. But like, I'm not too sure where to put the unique ones. So pink and brown are unique, or there's a couple pink. The brown tracks the game clock. So it's sort of like a special thing. We know where the yellows are going. We're going to put them all in a big old, just plastic clatter all over the table. I'm going to put those in a big old pile off to the side, and the towers are going to go with the walls. Figure out where to put those in a second. The dice are, again, a unique broad game thing, and then we'll repatriate these dice. Where can we fit them? Anywhere we want. Purple and blue. Okay, so that's step 1. That's pretty straightforward, sorting your player colors into your different trays. Nice. I think I am secure enough in the knowledge that this is done correctly that I can cap them all up and put them aside. This unboxing means business, folks. I'm not messing around. Stupid stories and trivial entertainment. No, we're here to get this thing put together. Yes, there, and this. Oh, I forgot a couple of purple guys. My bad. Great. Oh! Excellent, excellent, excellent. All done. Player tray is done. That was the easy part. I don't know what to do with all this yellow crap, so I'm just going to throw it off to the side. So the per game stuff has to sort of go in here somewhere in some way. Here's a round groove. That might be a clue. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll try like, maybe we'll try throwing combat dice in here for now, and we'll try throwing all the level 2, level 3 tier stuff. I don't know if that fits all that nicely. So maybe that's a bad plan. Money goes on a different board. I'm going to save the money. These guys, I don't know. We're going to get rid of this for just a second. Just off with you. Banished to where the minis go. I didn't see a thing showing us how to stock all of this, so I don't know if I'm going to have to watch my own video in reverse to figure it out, but hopefully we'll make it through. I have faith in us. Great. Innkeeper, banker, bank. Here we go. This is where I think you can put your money in the supply crate, and you can also, I'm pretty sure that this is okay to do. Now, we're going to put all the cubes where they go in this board, but that's not necessarily how it's going to play out in your game, because, like I say, there's different scenarios, and different scenarios kind of want to control for the amount of each thing that's available in the supply, if that makes sense. So we're going to put them all in there, but different scenarios will tell you, like, oh, there's only supposed to be this many cubes of this kind in this section. But at the very least, you don't have to have them floating in plastic bags. You can have them stuck in this thing. So let me just do a little quick sorting. Would this be a fun game? Just a sort cubes game? I'm sure there's something on the Apple App Store that lets you do that. Mindless. Pretend that you have a factory job in China or something. I heard that as a criticism of things like Minecraft. Well, we've seen the tweet where the guy's like, the children yearn for the mines. But there is like a weird, like with all these farming sims and stuff, there's this fantasy of labor that I think rich Westerners engage in. Farming sims and mining sims and all that sort of stuff, where it's like sort of weird romanticized versions of these laborious tasks. But nobody really, like, you don't go into Stardew Valley and get black lung from the mines or anything, so we have a collective amnesia about how kind of terrible and hard on us those jobs were. Cool. Thanks, Ryan. I'm having a good time. Great. Great. So I'm going to try putting just, I think it's 3 per, but looking at the number, it looks like it's going to shake out to be 4 per. You know, whatever fits, right? Because we're just trying to fit things right now. Chuck them all in there. And again, like this scenario is going to sort out how many actually get. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3. Oh, 4. Yeah, that looks right. It's 4 per row. Just for storage. Skill is red. Oh man, getting black lung just doing this. Now, if there's a, though I do wonder how much, like, if there's like a board game lung where we're inhaling little dust particles of cardboard when we punch chits and tokens and things, or probably more likely like inhaling fumes from recently painted but uncured things out of these boxes. You know, sometimes you open a board game box and like, whew, that's stinky. The blue stuff goes over here. That's stinky, and it smells like cancer. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure the publisher is very happy that I am mentioning cancer while unboxing their product. Sorry, guys. Great. And then, yeah, ore is black. Ore is how you build things. Red, like I said, you can use it to, if you do a skill check and it's like, oh, you gotta have this many intelligence, and you're like, but I'm really dumb, you can, I think, pay red cubes to make up the shortfall in certain circumstances. Green is generally how you feed food to your horse to be able to move around the map. And then purple and white, we're gonna leave right now, and then I think we can put, excuse me, I think we are allowed to put the coins here. I think. So let's try that anyway. They seem to fit really nicely, so I'm going to go with that. 2 denominations. Probably having the 3s in the back is better than having them in the front. These feel nice. Gotta love metal coins, man. Nothing wrong with that. Cool. Smashing. Looks good. And then, the moment of truth, you should be able to just take this tray. I guess these are all interchangeable, so you can put any lid on any box, which is also quite nice. And look, there's a bit of slosh around with the coins, but those cubes aren't going anywhere. Beautiful, that goes back in your box. For now, we're gonna put it into the banishment zone off camera. Lovely. Also called my studio floor. Now, gets a little bit more challenging from here. Yeah. Okay, cool. The purple and the white go into this tray with the Mystic building pre-printed on it. These are Mana Stones, and Mana Stones, it's a little bit like if you played like, uh-oh, is there one too many? I can't fit this last Mana Stone in here. It's a little bit like Overwatch, where every character, every champion that you control has like an ultimate move. I don't know where to put these guys. Where are these guys supposed to go? Oh no, that's the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm being hyperbolic, really, but I don't know. You know what? I don't know. They're going off to the side for the moment. Cool. So everybody's got a superpower. We'll see that when we go into the cards. And then the Mana Stones, when you fire off your super ability, you have to spend a Mana Stone in order to use it. Super good. There are things that we can put in the house boards, but for now, let's get into some chit punching. I'm going to leave the dice tower for the time being because it's not game crucial. However, this stuff defo is. I didn't see a spot to hold all of these though, did you? Let's crack her open and see what we're getting into. Sometimes I do sound like a bit of a bumpkin, don't I? Let's crack her open. Take her for a rip. In case you were unaware, I'm Canadian, so yes, I am indeed a hoser, and I do have a hoser accent. Not as bad as some people, but I don't think you're getting too much Letterkenny off of me, but time to time. Great. So these are your terrain tiles. This is what's actually going on that hex map that we saw. And, oh no, sorry, these are quests. Embarkment tiles are where you start from, and depending on the level of settlement you build on them, you get different amounts of loyalty points. But these are not the actual terrain tiles. We'll get into those in other boards. And then these guys are those status effects that I talked about. So I'm going to put them here and sort of sort them as I punch them. So regen is one. That's I think the reverse of poison kind of thing. Roots. What does root do? Root takes down a character's initiative. So your initiative decides the order in which you get to make your moves during a battle round. These are loots, and loots, true to like RPG form, start off undiscovered, and you get them and you're not allowed to discover them. You can trade them undiscovered, but there's a move you can do to discover them and flip them over and see what you get. Loot. And then these are renown tokens. And you earn renown when you fight bad guys and defeat them. And you get renown, and renown is the currency that you use to upgrade your empire. Like I said, everything's upgradable, almost everything. Tamed and tamed. Great, done. Get out of here. Renown. Coins I can probably... I have a big old box that I keep that has like, when you have like a game where it gives you cardboard coins, but you went and splurged on the metal coins. What do you do with the cardboard ones? Well, of course you throw them in the garbage, right? Because you're not psychotic. But if you are psychotic, you put them in a big old box. So that's where these coins are going to go. This is subdued and reflect. Or are they two-sided? Oh, no, they're not. Subdued. It's a status effect. Reflect, reflect, reflect. So sort your status effects. They're going in a certain box. These are the terrain tiles. So the terrain tiles, you can go on an adventure, which means you get to roll a die to do like a skill check, and then you get prizes based on the number that you roll. It's added to your existing skill. You get different points for building different heights of settlement on there. And they also give you like plus or minus bonuses depending on what they're adjacent to. So like a yellow tile might say, oh, you get an extra point if I'm next to a green tile, but you lose a point if I'm next to a red tile, that kind of thing. That's what's going on with these guys. Subdued, subdued, blank, blank. Renown, renown, renown. Loot, 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 loot. Loot, 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 loot. There's common loot, there's rare, maybe rare and legendary loot. Pacified, 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 status effect. Put those in their own thing. This is looking pretty messy so far, but there's a place to put it. So, fear not. And of course, these terrain tiles are going to have to be shuffled. Again, I don't quite know where they go yet. But they look pretty. That's going to look like a pretty land when we sort that all out, put it on the map. These loots are common. They're all still common. Okay. And there's a place for those too. I know exactly where those go. Diseased is a status effect. Diseased. Weak is a status effect. There's a bunch of status effects. Weak. And interestingly, some of them are just like a one-off kind of thing. Some of them last the duration of the battle, and then some of them like persist even after the battle's done. And the damage that your champions take during battle persists after a battle's done. So it's not like certain games, you know, you finish battle and your guy's all healed up. But this game, no, tough nuts. You carry the damage, and then you have to like do stuff to heal it, like take actions to heal it. Use effects, use items, da da da. And we'll see those items and effects and everything when we get into the cards that are over here. This is, these are uncommon loots. So be sure to put those in their own little pile, because it matters. They go in a certain place. You're not going to throw all of these in baggies is the point that I'm trying to make here. And, look. Airship. Makes me think of that little mini airship we saw. I wonder if that token like travels around. You gotta chase it. I don't know. I don't know. Of course, like what you don't want to do, dazzled is a status effect. Lucky. What you don't want to do is just go read through all the scenarios, because there's like surprises and stuff in there, right? So, and I'm gonna keep this completely spoiler free. If I see any cards that say don't look at this card, I'm gonna try not to. Dazzled, dazzled, dazzled. Though I am still kind of sweating that QR code that I just blazingly held up in front of the camera. Great, 2 more to go. More Renown. Renown's pretty important, eh? Renown, you don't actually spend it when you upgrade your empire. It's like a threshold. You have to have it. A status effect is called Haste. One is called Searing. What does that do? Attackers that hit this unit suffer 1 unresisted, I don't know. I don't know. Is that like you attack it and it burns you kind of thing? Empower is a status effect. And these are still uncommon loots. Put them in the uncommon loots pile. So what else can I tell you about the game that I know? Some scenarios are competitive. Some are cooperative. Some have you splitting off into teams, and the teams compete with each other. So it'd be like 2 versus 2. Some of them are like really story-based, so you get to like inflection points where you have to choose, like a choose your own adventure, do this or do this. And the story continues on from whatever choice you make. Last, punch board, Renown, Gold. These look like they're very tied to certain scenarios. The Trial of Kings. Oh, we got a blank one, so we can draw whatever we like. I'm going to draw a waterfall. I don't know. Everything's punching out okay until that one. That one was being a bit of a jerk. It's tall. That's a tall stack of tiles for me to have not noticed a place to put tiles, but hopefully I trust. Amnesia is a status effect. Poison is a status effect. Status effects, if you get amnesia and then you get amnesia again, you still only have one amnesia, but poison is different. You can have up to 3 poisonings. And then these are, yes, these are rare loots on the back and 1 uncommon. So make sure that you put your uncommon one with your uncommons and your rares with your rares. Ooh, your rares are nice. One of them upgrades your horsey. Well, that's pretty good. They got to be good, right? If they're rare. And then draw your own. Great. Amnesia, 2 more. Excellent. All the punch boards done. And we have, man, most of this stuff is happening off camera, isn't it? I have all my status effects piled down here, all my renown piled down here, a couple more status effects, all my loots sorted into the 3 different tiers, loot, and got my money over here that I'm going to get rid of. So, where does it all go? Yes, that is the question. Status effects, I know. They go in this tray right here, up here. And then the loots all go in here. So let's see how nicely everything fits. And we'll throw out more praise to game trays. This, I really like this. They did this with Distilled. I was going to say Distilled 2, by the way. Distilled and Paperson Games' second game, Luthier, both have the same thing that this game has going on, where it's a guided tutorial that takes players through every single step. Although, to confess, love Dave, but I felt like the ones for those games felt a little too control-y, like I was just being told what to do. You're told what to do in this one, but it just feels like, I don't know, there's a couple of decisions you get to make, whereas the ones for Luthier and Distilled felt a little bit, oh, I just put the uncommon in the common row. I'm a bad man. Anyway. So I didn't actually play through the tutorial on this one, but I read through it and I thought, oh, that's pretty darn good. Hopefully you agree. What else can I say? Yeah, so I like these ridges here. When I was designing a tray for the Terraforming Mars Prelude 2 thing, where you get all these like milestones and awards, I thought, what's the best way to do it? And I looked at Distilled and I looked at what game trays had done with the little ridges and grooves for holding them in. They were the ingredients? No, the labels. The labels for your different spirits you were brewing. Distilling. Dave got on my case for that. I said brewing and the word is distilling because it's a completely different process. And he's right. He's right. Darn it. If you're going to call a game Distilled and some bozo shows up and calls it brewing, then by all means say something. But I love this. Yeah, I love this ridge thing. They stay in place nicely. It's easy to kind of flip through them. And the blank one I'm not going to put in there because that's weird. Great. So that's where all of those go. And then your status effects, I'm just going to... There's only 6 recesses and there's way more than 6 status effects. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort them into good and bad kind of things. So maybe that'll give us a clue as to how... Okay, so regen's good. Well, reflect, that's kind of neutral, isn't it? Reflect is good if you've got it, but it's bad if the bad guy's got it. Root, that's bad. I don't know if I can do this. That kind of depends on who's casting the thing, right? So maybe that's not the best. Maybe sorting by color is a good way to go. Or maybe I can look at the rule book and see if they've got a picture of it. Maybe that's a good idea, right? Maybe the game creators know a good way to put those in there. Let's take a real quick look at the yeah, here's the example of like where scenarios have you putting different stock in different buckets in one of the trays. Yep, good to know. So this is what we're going to get into with the player boards in a second. Great, we did all of this. Yes, but I don't see a picture of maybe further in. Oh, there's so much things. Ah, here they are. Yeah, I'm just gonna follow that. Although that only looks like there's a couple kinds. Okay, well, we're gonna follow that. We're also gonna take a drink. One moment, please. Have you tried this stuff? It's great. Yes. So according to the book, the greens, and it looks like they've like even alternated them, which seems like kind of a psychotic thing to do. The greens you're going to put here. The pinks are going to go kind of up here. The sort of black and gray ones are going to go, oh man, I don't even know. They got control is going to go down here, and the white ones subdued is going to go here, and then oh no, they've just all mixed them in here in this picture because they've got control in two different buckets. Whatever, I will do my best to follow along. Maybe I'm just being a little too picky about where everything goes. Yeah, we'll throw that there, and we'll put the sort of purpley, frozeny, lucky, dazzled ones in their own little tray. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but I'm going with it. You know, with the white ones over here, and blacky gray kind of things over here. Purple, faded regens. Great. So those are all tucked away safe and sound. Excellent. I wish I could find the one that has the purple renown. I don't know where that quite goes. But let's keep flipping. Let's keep doing it. We're doing it. Great. So I think now that we've gone through all of the punch boards, now we can start cracking open some of these tiles and cards and see what's involved and where they all go. I'm going to start with the one that I think I'll have the most luck with. Look, okay, so they're all sorted by house. Excellent. So there's House Valus, House Con, House Party. Those are quests. Let's leave those alone for a second. This is House Con. Uh-oh, they're all mixed in together. I thought it was going to be one pack per house. No such luck. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. Let's just crack one open, and we can look at the artwork and admire it while we're also putting it into its rightful box. House Con. All kinds of nice things. Or House Con, what's on the back of this? Okay, these are the Empire cards for House Con. Put them here. House Raspute. These are the, okay, then we're going to put them here for reasons. House Raspute. These are, hold on. So what you're looking for is the little symbol up top. This is a fist, that means might. This is a brain, that means intellect. They all have to stay together. So as soon as you go 1, 2, 3, 4, put them over here. So you got all three mentioned. So you got the eyeball, the fist, and the brain. And then the fourth stack is going to be Empire. So that's kind of the order you want them in. And the other order you want them in is you want to make sure that, so level 0 is here, level 1, level 2, or sorry, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. So all 4 of those stacks are going to be like that. So as soon as you sort them all, then you're able to get them into, whoa, oh my gosh, you're going to be able to get them into your player board. So, great. So you take the eyeball one, and you this is a tech tree. This is the one part of the game that I haven't finished reading about yet, so it's still a bit mysterious to me. But I will have figured it out by the time I finish the video. Don't you worry. Not this video. This video I'll know nothing. But the how to play video that you can, again, if the link is available, look in the description below. I'll probably have it plastered all over this video. Great. So that's how they go. And when you build the first thing, it goes out to a certain place that we'll see maybe in a second. And then you slide this all up, and now you've revealed a tech tree that you can go around putting cubes in to upgrade different things. It's all very. So that's that. Cool, right? So that's what you want to do. You just do the other 3. Okay. I'm getting a taller and taller stack on this box here. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. Great. I wish I had a bit more room to slide this thing up. Great. House Valus or Valus. I wonder how the dudes at One More Turn Games pronounce that. Great. Blade. Hunting Camp. This is the Empire, so it goes on the far right. Oh, this is also the Empire. What have I done wrong? Empire 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know... I don't know why I'm asking questions because there's no audience right now, but no live audience anyway. But do you know how to read... It's going to sound insane. Do you know how to read Roman numerals? Because I remember seeing one thing one time where somebody was complaining online that a game used Roman numerals and it forced him to go learn how to decode them. And I thought, like, I don't know, we learned that in like 5th or 6th grade, I think. Not officially, like it wasn't on the curriculum, but it's just kind of something you pick up in passing. So it just surprised me that, well, nobody knows everything just straight out of the womb, but I thought that was something that most people pick up, you know, throughout their lives on the way. At least up to 12, right? When it gets into the M's and the L's and the whole rule where if a smaller number is on the right of a bigger number, it subtracts that, all that. I don't expect most people to know that, but I think common knowledge should be at least being able to identify Roman numerals up to 12. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I pooched my advantage here with this rip strip, and now I have to do it the horrible labor-intensive way. Oh no. Oh no, what have I done? It's still in there. Yes! Gotta love a good rip strip. So I haven't done an official count, but just seeing at the number of cards displayed on my table, I'm going to guess that there's anywhere from probably approximately 50,000 cards in here. I haven't counted, so don't hold me to it. The brain cards for the... Oh, what are these? What are these? These are somethings. Somethings, and they're green. I'm going to put them over here. Are these the special things that you get when you finish a game? The legacy rewards, maybe? There's one per house, so I'm going to keep that over here to the side because we're not finished finding all of these. You know, we can do the Valus ones. Once again, get the eyeball ones, and they go here at the bottom. You get the fist ones. Am I right about that? Do the fist ones go here? Yes, they do. Fist ones here. That's might. That's intellect. And empire goes in the 4th one, and then you can cap that up. Ready to go. I'll put. Ooh, they really slide around in there, but you're fine because you got like you got a lid on it. Great. That's fine. Nice try. Game components. You wanted to spill, but you couldn't. Get back to your game component prison. Fist. Brain. And empire. Lid. Finally, the last stacks evade me because they're in this in here. Excellent. So far, like, obviously, really nice production. This is a first-time publisher of a board game, so to pull this off for your first go, I think is pretty special. These are quests, so we'll put them off on their own little area. These are for House Roberts. These are, I think, legacy reward cards. I think. I might be wrong, but these are the green ones for House Valus. I think that I can, put in with these ones. I might be wrong, but I'm going to do it because fortune favors the bold. The bold, the brave, how does that go? Great. However, I'm missing some, so it's got to be in this last square deck because House Con doesn't have their upgrades yet. Great. Here's some quests. Flop, 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 flop. Here are some I don't knows. These are I don't quite I don't quite know. I don't quite know. They're gray. They've got a gray top. These items, what are these? I don't know. I don't know, but they're going over with the other cards. Great, and these are the ones that we're missing. So this is the buildings there, and there, and there. But they're in the wrong order. So it goes like that, like that. Yes. Yeah. So stables go over here. The Colosseum buildings go right here. The Volcanium ones are Volcanium. And the Empire go here. Those are your house boards done. Huzzah. Oh no! Oh no! I'm playing like a game of stack 'em back here, and it all toppled. But it's all got lids, so it all did kind of okay. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Game Trays. These are events. So let me go fish out the correct tray for events. These are also events. No, these are yeah, those are events, but these are not. These are items. We'll get those in a second. But these I want to get into for sure. Surprised, do these not go in the player boards? Okay, so what these are your creatures and your I don't even know what those are. I'm not going to read it. I think that's spoilers. Don't look at that. But creatures at the very least, and fortifications. So this says champions and fortifications. These are all going to go here. So each house has sort of like, you can get champions that you can put into play to do battle for you, and you start off with 3 of them. So the fortifications are all definitely going to go in here. And then each house, like I say, these are kind of like your cousins and your siblings and stuff that are coming up with you at the same time in your kingdom. And then these are different. These go into totally different. So if you see this symbol up here with the little like guy with a patch over his eye, these are mercenaries, and these ones are with the little like kind of looks like a Fender guitar or something. Well, I guess it's supposed to be like a catapult or something, so it's like a siege engine. So these are war machines. So war machines go in their own little pile. So you've got your champions, which I think are supposed to go here, and you got your fortifications, which can go on top of your champions. You've got, these are creatures. We won't look too closely at these. Actually, you know what? We can look at a couple, because I think, the artwork matters. It's very nice fantasy, scary monster artwork. Close your eyes if you don't want any spoilers of what kind of creatures are in here. Gigantic G-hopper. Yeah, horrifying and terrible, and must be defeated at all costs. So those are the creatures. They're going to go somewhere different. And this one, right, more creatures. You can tell they're creatures because they got little horned dudes going on here, but these ones are colored, which is giving me pause. They're level 2. Yes, so they're level 2 creatures, and the ones that we had in this other deck should be level, no crap, they're level 2 as well. So sort them 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2. The color is going to give you, I'm assuming, no, I was going to say a hint as to what, there's like a rock paper scissors things going on with combat, so I thought that's what that was going to do, but it's not. I don't know what the color of that icon necessarily means, but what you want to do is sort them so that the tier 1s are in their own stack and tier 2s are in the other. Tier 1, tier 2. Look, they get a little bit more dire as they go to tier 2. Scary. Crystal Pegasus. Ugh. Hey, smash that guy. Not smash like smash or pass. You know what I mean. Just murder. Murder is what I mean. Nothing untoward, just murder. Great. So we got our monsters, our creatures in stacks 1 and 2. And then what is this noise? Right. So these are, try not to look too deeply into them. These are secret role cards for certain scenarios where you're playing in teams and different people on different teams take on different roles. They've made them double-sided so I can't not look at them, so I don't know what to do. More secret role cards. Hopefully I'm okay rearranging the order of these. If not, I've just totally pooched my entire game. Great. Secret rolls, secret rolls, secret rolls. We're going to put those off to the side on their own. So where does all this noise go? Well, I have to return to my collapsed stack of things back there gently without pulling my microphone. And I'm going to burn my arm against that hot light bulb behind me. Ow. Oh, it all spilled. One moment, please. Oh no. Oh no. All right, what have we found out? This is why I can't have nice things. For one thing, just gonna check my audio levels, make sure. Yes, okay, I had to unplug my mic to sort that all out. We're all good. We're all good. We're back. So what have we learned? We've learned that even though everything has lids, the lids aren't on very tight, and don't turn your trays vertical or upside down because they will pop off and you'll have a bit of a mess. I have to redo a tiny little bit of what I did. That's fine. It's fine. Fine by me. I'm here all day. I don't want you to be, though. Let me just... so if this happens to you, here's here's how to figure it out. Remember, match the icon on the top left. Oh my gosh. What a mess. Slide them all down. Great. Sort them by color. Just got a couple of the green ones down here. And then the blue ones right here. Green ones, blue ones. Great. Empire ones all go together. All of the buildings about the same name go together. Empire 0 is going to go on top. Followed by Empire. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, following the little numbers on the top. Ooh. That's that one. Fixed. 2, eyeball, cunning, 1, 2, 0. Good. There's some missing. That's not great, but I'm sure they'll turn up. And we're back. All right. The tray you want is the one with the innkeeper at the top right, the frontier tray, to put your creatures in. Creature level 2 goes on this side. Creature tier 1 goes on this side. Nicer creature, scarier creature. And you can kind of like almost pick what you get to fight in the game. There's a kind of a mechanism going on here where you can reveal it ahead of time by wasting a guy to take a worker placement action, or you can just draw it cold if you're like cocky and you want to get into trouble. So you can do either of those. And the game recommends like really like, it's probably a good idea to check it out ahead of time instead of fighting it cold. But I don't know, maybe it depends on kind of how strong you are or what's going on in the scenario. I don't know, it's hard to say. These events actually go into different spots, so this is not the tray for them, but these things, these are more events. They go in a different tray. Except for these scrap metal things, these are items. So these are all going to be, excuse me, they all scrap. So some of them are items. Items are the things with the pink chest up at the top left. And basically, once you finish using an item, you turn it over and it becomes scrap, and then you can actually use the scrap to build your, I don't know why this has active descent on it, because, oh yeah, it's an event. So this is in kind of like leftover from a different deck. These are the events. So they're the ones that have descent or law on them. So this guy, find this fully cooperative event and stick it with your other fully cooperative events. Great. So I believe our items should go up here. I think that's where they go. Hold on, I'm just going to triple check the rulebook and then off we go. So that's it. So some of these items have a little crossed swords up there, and they're items that you can play while taking your initiative while fighting, and they are in one stack, which goes up here. And then all the ones that don't have the crossed swords are not that kind of item, and they go here. And then once you've got that whole tray, I believe, is done, and you can cap it up, and it's ready to go back in the box. Hooray, we did one. Now this one, the one with Mystic up in the corner, this is where you're going to get your mercenary cards in here, and your War Machine cards in here, and then all of your square quest cards. Seems like a lot of room in here, but I guess you can also, like, this version of the game came with sleeves, so you're going to sleeve it, they're going to get thicker. So then all your quest cards, I believe, are going to go up here, and that is it for that tray. Those lids fit a lot nicer than the ones on the player boards. This one is done once you have all of your cubes in place and your money in there. I think we can leave this blank. This is just the discard row where things go when you're done with them, and that keeps the economy a certain way. This right here is where these event cards go, and once those are homed, then you can put the lid on that puppy and get rid of it. I've got this sort of elephant in the room stack of scenario cards that I'm not quite sure what to do with quite yet, but we'll get there. Great. And now the last thing I have to do is just to figure out how all of these things go back in the box. And I said, oh, you know what? We're going to do one more thing. One more thing. We are going to assemble the dice tower. This gnarly, skull-facey looking thing. The last time I assembled this arts and craftsy things on this channel, it was it didn't go well. It was the Teotihuacan thing. It didn't go well because they misprinted it. I found out later. I was reading the Kickstarter thread, and just like all these people are like, hey, dum-dums, you printed it wrong. I'm like, that's why I was having such difficulty. Silly. It wasn't me, although I'm not as dumb as I worried I was. I'm almost there, but not fully. Great, let's pop all this stuff out. This should be hopefully okay. I generally know how dice towers go together. So I think this is either a premium add-on or this is something you get in the all-in crazy bonkers version with the minis and the gold coins and the things. I'm a little surprised though that they didn't take the opportunity to make those all-important purple renown tokens something special and fancy and metal or acrylic or something, because those are what you need to, those are what you get as a reward for doing certain quests, fighting bad guys. You get those as a reward, and they're like big and important. So there's an opportunity there for you, fellas. If you want to go back to the well and make a premium product for people who want to enjoy your game and give you more money, make those metal or acrylic or something. I don't know. Somebody will buy them. Don't make too many of them. Don't go crazy. This die has given me a couple of issues on a couple of pieces. I'm going to be careful because in my haste I don't want to ruin it. But a couple of pieces like this one, and not the knife was a little dull or something. There we go. Okay, should be good. Right, here they all are. Now watch with awe and wonder as I put this together with zero issues. Ooh, but this piece is not cut out nicely. Exercise caution. Great. I'm going to do now, and what I should have done the last time I was putting something like this together, I'm going to go look at a picture of it and then return and assemble it victoriously. Okay, I found a picture. I didn't find an assembly guide, but I found the picture, so I'm going to stare at the picture, and I might have to flip back and forth between the picture while I'm putting it together. But hopefully it should be pretty straightforward. Let me be sure that my camera's in the right spot, and then I will look at the picture. So this is the faceplate. This is going to go on the very front of the thing. There are two sides that go like this, and if you see this nubbin, the nubbin goes at the top of the thing, and then there's going to be some sort of platform. I assume it's going to be this. So slide in here like this, and slide in here like so. So far so good. It's supposed to be angled in like that. I don't know. Probably not, because that's not how cardboard works, but let me just see. So it doesn't want us to do that. So we're gonna stick the faceplate on like that. Bazoom, bazoom. And we're gonna stick the faceplate on like this. Bazoom, bazoom. So it's on all nice. And then the sort of like jaw piece is gonna go down here like that. So it looks like that. Ha 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 ha. And then it needs a back spot, so we're gonna go. But before we do that, there's gonna be like a little, trays and platforms for the die to bounce down. And that's the interior part. So that's a little bit more challenging because we're not gonna actually see that on the diagram. But this big one, I'll figure it out. Well, you know what? There's a little like corral at the bottom, so that I can definitely put together. The corral at the bottom. Okay, I think I got it. I found that it took a little bit of coercion because the two pieces, this one on the top and this one on the bottom especially, contort the thing into a certain angle, these two side pieces into a certain angle that they might not really want to adopt, right? And then this is an interesting thing. You definitely want to have like this together before, or maybe you just lift this lower jaw piece up. There's a little tab down here that sort of hangs down here. I think this is how it's supposed to work. There's a double wall down in the tray at the bottom where the dice end up, and you're supposed to like stick that tab in there so it kind of like locks it. You can't pull it away, or you can drag the whole thing like that, but then you can also take it like that so that it's easier to store, presumably. But the real test will be to see if we can roll a die in it and if it works as advertised. Let's find out. Let me go get a die. Here's a die right here. Now, this isn't really going to work that well from the top, but you can, well, whatever. Here we go. Well, yeah. That's all you want a dice tower to do, isn't it? Cool. All right, dice tower done. Check. Let's just one more time. I think on the Kickstarter campaign they said inspired by Castle of the Grey Skulls or something like that. So they like, please don't sue me, Filmation. Not that they're referencing anything by Filmation or anything. I'm just saying. Cool. So that's that. That's the big dice tower done. And what do we have left to put in the box? I think we're basically done. You can imagine how it all goes together, and I hope that if you are a backer and you receive all this and you want to find out how to put it away, either I missed a how to put it all away piece of paper, or hopefully it'd be nice if they had a guide on the Kickstarter campaign so you can, oh, wait. Ryan, on the back of this silly thing is how to assemble. Why does this happen to me every single time? Okay. Do this. Don't do what I do. Do this to assemble that dice tower, because I'm a dork, right? Do this to put your minis back. I'm just wondering if there's a do this to put everything sort of like in the back in the box right away. There are a couple of remnants here that I don't quite know what to do with. So we have the 4-player boxes, no problem, right? We put all the pieces in there, but I don't quite know what to do with the yellow pieces, which are what represents your Nemesis character if you only have one Nemesis character in the game. But I assume, and I'm hoping, that the tray at the bottom of the box, the very bottom one, I'm assuming or hoping that maybe that's where all that jazz goes. We didn't quite find a place for the brown tracker or the pink trackers, but you got some space in here to throw, you know, whatever. So I would, without any other ideas, I would throw these guys into here. And then the last things that I don't quite know where to put are, we have stacks of these legacy rewards for each player, and I didn't see a spot in the actual player boxes to put them, and I didn't see a spot in the boxes to put them. But let's just do one more investigation and make sure that I didn't miss anything obvious like I did with the instructions on that stupid dice tower. I don't know where they're supposed to go. I don't know. So that's a little bit of a mystery. I'm going to solve it, I guess, on my own. There's nothing on the back of the Ancestral Ledger, is there? No, nothing? Okay, cool. Then there's a way. There's a way to get it all back in the box, presumably without box lift, because we're talking about game trays here, and I know they wouldn't do me dirty on that. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Where do the hexes go? Where do you put the hexes? You know what? Maybe I'll linger just a little bit longer. I'll go get answers, and then I'll put this all back together. Okay, after kind of goofing with things, look, I've got the box packed. It's mostly completely full, and I'll just show you the things that are kind of like left over that I didn't really know what to do with. So the dice tower, where's the other piece of it? There it is. This thing ain't gonna fit in your box, so kiss that goodbye. That's gonna sit on a shelf somewhere. That's cool if you like tattooy skull aesthetic in your living room. Great if you live with mom. Might not fly. Depends on your situation. Things that I kind of didn't know where to place. Remember these bundles of sort of like unlockables, I think is what they are, legacy cards. I don't really know where to put those, but there is room for them in each of the players' trays. There's sort of like space between the lid and the bottom, so you can stick them all in there and just like scoop them up when you begin the game. So there's a place for those. The ones that aren't marked any player color, I'm not too sure. Oh, these are area effect stuff. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Oh, sorry, those are the purple ones. The white ones, the gray ones. Not too sure where those could go, but again, there's room in the different individual player boards to stuff those. These are scenario cards and role cards. I don't really know where to put those either, but you saw that when we put the Mercenaries and the War Machine cards into that one district tray, there was more space there, so you could like split those up and stick those into each recess. No problem. These renown tokens, like the gold we're getting rid of, we know that, but the renown tokens can go in the bottom tray. Kind of like there's no great place for them. You'd have to stick them in a baggie, but no biggie. Remember how we had those two cubes that wouldn't fit anywhere. I don't know, bottom tray too, because this, excuse me, this row is pretty full up, so not too sure what to do with that. These Nemesis envelopes, I guess we'll just kind of like do this with across the top. All fine, all fits, but the one thing that is kind of like a big mystery to me, and maybe I missed what's supposed to happen with these, maybe there's a recess I didn't see, I don't know quite what's going on with these, but the big stack of hex tiles, I don't know where to put those. I didn't see a spot in the trays for them. I don't know where those go. And it's like, that's a substantial cubic amount of inches to have to stick in the box somewhere. I didn't see where they go. So you definitely don't want those just kind of like floating around in your shelf. If you saw the recess that I missed that will hold this stack of terrain tiles, please shout it out to me in the comments and you can help me put everything back in the box, get the lid back on. Ascendancy. Like I said, if you own the game and you want to learn how to play, go through their tutorial. If you want to learn how to play and go through all the rules, you can read the 112-page rule book, or you can go watch my video. If it's not up right now, if it is up, find the description below, and I'll probably pop up a little pop-up in the corner. If it's not up, then please, by all means, do subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notifications, and then once it's up, the moment it's up, you'll get a notification. You can run to it, and then you can watch it. It's going to be lots of fun and probably pretty long. I hope you enjoy it, because by then I'll have worked very hard on it. Thank you for joining me for this unboxing/reboxing, and if you're a recipient of this, I hope you enjoy Ascendancy, and if you're not, maybe you want to consider picking up a copy. I have been and still am and always will be Ryan from Knights Around the Table, and we'll see you next time.
Did you just watch that whole thing? Oh, hey, to 100% this video, click the badge to subscribe, and then click the bell to get notifications when I've got new stuff.